All right. In honor of the opening of deer hunting soon upon us, here's a deer hunting article I wrote many years ago. It ended up getting published as a syndicated column in numerous newspapers in the area. So, in honor of deer hunting, here is A Deer Camp Confession by Matt Soberg. As I grew older and wiser, I care less about bringing home a deer each year, but instead focus on camp traditions, bonding relationships, and memorable stories that stand the test of time. The midnight sound of pattering mouse feet across the rafter board above the head didn't bother me as I slept on the top bunk of our deer camp chicken coop. Yes, you heard it right. We built a rustic cabin out of a chicken coop, and it was a mystical place in our minds, a big improvement over the brutally cold army tent used for many years before. And the mouse became our unofficial mascot, lunching on left-out cheeseburger buns and potato chips. If the mouse was happy, it meant time for deer camp, and therefore we were happy too. It was 1999, and I was 19 years old, a camp veteran at the time, having enjoyed the coop with my dad since the spry age of 12. The corner wood stove warmed our socks and warmed our souls and gave our clothes that classic smoky smell. The walls' wood-framed pictures celebrated deer camp stories of days gone by, honoring our forefathers for the traditions they bestowed upon us. The stories told within these walls were sacred, not to be repeated elsewhere. At least, quote unquote, don't tell mom was the rule us kids learned real quick. It wasn't the mouse that woke me from a not so deep sleep, but my Uncle Brad's bellowing from inside his sleeping bag. He yelled, "Cheeseburger! Cheeseburger! Cheeseburger!" See, it was Friday night before opening day. Anticipation was rampant, and we had all finally just gone to bed. The Canadian whiskey was surely talking, and Brad knew our friend Clyde would give in through some extra ribbing. Others joined in the late night cheeseburger chant until it was a constant rumbling throughout the cabin. And Clyde did give in. "All right, you savages," he said. "I'll make you burgers. Who's in?" He arose from his cot and lumbered out the coop's front door to start the grill. On the porch in the 20-degree Minnesota cold, wearing nothing but a NASCAR t-shirt, tidy whities, and bare feet, Clyde made us all cheeseburgers after midnight. Because that is what friends do for friends, especially at deer camp. And it was the best cheeseburger of my life. My deer camp confession this year is that these simple memories are what I cherish most about my hunting experiences. As I grow older and hopefully wiser, I care less about bringing home a deer each year. I focus on camp traditions, bonding relationships, and memorable stories that stand the test of time. Truth be told, I brought home the biggest buck of my life that same weekend I ate that midnight cheeseburger. But it is the story and those people that I remember most. That opening day, I was on stand, having no luck through the morning. My dad and I had trekked a couple miles from the nearest road, and we decided to sit all day. Just before I dozed off, basking in the sun for a midday nap, I saw a four-wheeler in the distance coming down a trail. It was peculiar to see this activity in that area and at that time. After the vehicle parked, I could see Donnie from our deer camp furiously waving to me. I knew I had to go. When I got there, he said my good friend David had gotten sick the night before and was in the hospital. He didn't know the details, but the concern on his face told me it was serious. Again, I knew I had to go. He gave me a 2-mile ride back to camp, where I learned the grave diagnosis. I was in shock, having just spent time with David a week earlier, telling deer hunting stories, getting excited for camp, laughing and joking as we always did. I jumped in my car and headed to the hospital in Fargo, where I saw David for the last time. He died that day from a sudden illness. He too was 19. The next day, I didn't know if I should hunt or not. My mind fiercely struggled, and I finally decided to go. I didn't know whether it was right or if it was wrong. I like to think it was divine intervention. That day, I brought home the biggest whitetail buck of my life. I often reminisce about that weekend, and I think less about the antlers now hanging on my office wall, but more about how I lost a good friend. The good times we had and the relationships with special people my hunting experiences have brought to my life. My uncle Brett, my uncle Brad, who started the cheeseburger chant, passed away from a long battle with cancer at age 48. And we lost our friend Clyde from a sudden illness at 62, all way too young. But I think about all the good times we had with these gentlemen and all the lessons I learned. These outdoor traditions brought us all together. I dare anyone to challenge the validity of these moments and these special people we hold dear in our hearts. I hope Deer Camp confessions like this are as important to you as they are to me. Cherish the people, stories, and memories because life is so short. I was lucky to have these folks in my life as mentors and friends, and the lessons learned are so valuable that I feel an inherent need to pass them along to my young son too. Please make sure to bring your son, daughter, or grandchild with you to enjoy the outdoors, so these moments and people live forever. Thank you. A Deer Camp Confession by Matt Soberg.